How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. This is Big Daddy Dave, and this is a map tour for a new mod map to Farming Simulator 22 called Gumpen Mega Field and Forest Map. And we're going to start with the description from the mod hub, and it reads, "Welcome to Gumpen, a small town in Hees in the Odenwald district in the middle of the country surrounded by meadows and fields. It is a standard size map that is fully developed, features 24 lots, 1 XXL forest divided into 5 plots to buy, 16 fields, a small town and some sales stations, bail acceptance sales installed and the pet dealer, etc. Large courtyard with cowshed with fully automatic feeding system, chicken coop with large free range, poultry farming, BGA plant 500 megawatt, large silos covered, etc. We recommend the Platinum Expansion DLC for the production at the sawmill. I would like to say thank you to all the modders who have had their elements built into the map. There are mods required for this map, starting with the Chicken Coop by Camelos0397, Chicken Barn Large by Lost Gamer, Virgimini Modding, and Grangiro, and the Cow Barn Big with Lizard Feed Mixer by Caster DS Agri Service. This map was created by Beemer and is 246.48 megabytes to download. And if we take a look at the map, this is what it looks like. You can see you start out all the way down here in the southeast portion of the map at the starting farm. The values do range. What do we start out with? We start out with farmlands number 1, 2, and 3. Number 1 is the starting farm. Number 2 is a couple of fields that are budded together but no product are planted in them. And same thing with number 3 is a field with no product inside it. Field prices do vary, starting with some of the smaller ones. You got 280,000. It is a little bit expensive. 284,000 for this one here, working our way up to 500,000, 468, all the way up to 780,000. Let's see, here's a big one up here, 924,000. So it gets pretty expensive for these fields. They're relatively large fields too. And then you have the forestry area all the way in the northwest, 289,000, 734,000, 648,000. So yeah, it gets pretty expensive. You cannot purchase all areas of the map. Pretty much the entirety of the map is unpurchasable, just the fields and the forest in the northwest. You do start out with some animal pens, as you can see here. Contracts are available. Production chain to start out with. You do start out with the biogas plant right there at the starting farm, and no collectibles are available. If we take a look at mods specific to this map, there's nothing under the buy menu, but under the build mode. There is currently nothing under buildings, productions, animals, decorations. All those tabs are empty. But under landscaping, we take a look at painting, there are a couple of additional painting swatches. Now, if we take a look at the starting farm, we are going to take a look at the starting equipment. So, take a look at the buy menu under owned items. Under small tractors, we have the John Deere 6120M and the Case Maxim CVX 115. And medium tractors, we have a Massey Ferguson 6718S. Harvesters, we have a New Holland CH770. Trailers, the Crampy Half-Pipe HP20, the header for the New Holland. Plows, you have the Kverneland EcoMat. Cultivators, the Lemken Schmard 9500K. Seeders, you have the Pottinger Terracim C6F. Under sprayers, the Hardy Mega 1200L. Mowers, the Pottinger Novacat 301 AMED Pro. Under forage wagons, you have the Pottinger Faro 4010D. Front loaders, you have the Hauer XB190. Front loader tools, the Albut Universal Bucket, and a header trailer, the Nardi N40B trailer. So starting here, we have, off to our right, a sleep trigger. Come on, there we go. A small chicken coop right over here, chicken barn, whatever you want to call it. 360 chickens, so it's small relatively. You'll see what I mean here in just a second. Coming around the corner here. tucked away over here, you have another chicken barn. Oh, right there. 1,500 chickens. That's why I said relatively. Oh, you know what? I didn't show the other one. Feed goes in here. And inside the doorway, you have your egg spawn point right here. I didn't show the stuff over there. Let me show that just real fast, and then we'll come back. So in this one, feed right here, and I believe... Is it right here? Oh, here it is. Just tucked away in here. This is the egg spawn point right here. Now, let's go ahead. Whoops. Head back to where we were. Alright, first thing you have here is a water tank, water tower. Right here, liquid fertilizer. Silo, tank, whatever you want to call it, you can purchase to fill it up. And a solid fertilizer tank silo that you can fill up there. A little bit of storage tucked away back there. Coming down here, you got a bit more storage. Down here at the end, you have the biogas plant. Now, according to the mod hub, this is something I just noticed. According to the mod hub, it says that it's a 500 megawatt, but this says 250 kilowatt. So, yeah, I'm going to believe the 250 kilowatt as opposed to what it says on the mod hub. But you own it. It does just standard inputs. Solid inputs here, liquid inputs right here, and liquid outputs, aka your digestate right there. Some more storage. Not quite sure what this is supposed to be. This isn't a bunker silo. Yeah, bunker silo. There's nothing that comes up that says compaction or anything like that, so not quite sure what that's supposed to be. Heading back up this way, you have your cow barn, silo right here. You have a liquid manure, aka slurry tank, right there. And inside here is the cow barn. You have room for 500 cows. Your milk point is right here. I believe this is the milk point. Let me just emphasize, I think, because you have your kind of milk holders right here. Over here, you have your slurry output. Over here, I believe, is your input for your straw and your feed, if you so choose to use this method. And then tucked away on this side, you have your feeding robot. So here you can put in your grass, straw, and silage, and right here you can put in your mineral feed to get your proper ratio, and every hour it will feed your cows. Manure heap is right here. Bale storage right here. Now this only says bale storage. I'm not sure if this is bale and the pallets, but just be warned, I think it's just bales. And then right here, sheep barn for up to 25 sheep. Feed in here, and wool will spawn right there. So now we'll just go ahead and head out of here and pick up one of our tractors, because that's pretty much the entirety of the farm. We're going to grab the Massey right here. Let's go ahead and drop this down. Alright, now we'll head out of the farm over here. Plenty of storage around the farm. Tons and tons of places to store equipment that you buy or that you build up. Like you got all this stuff over here. Whoops, almost hit the fence. Yeah, good amount of storage, good amount of area to build up. Because actually here, let's look at that just real fast. We'll go overview. So you got your area that you came in, the biogas. You have this little side road over here. You have this whole area back here that you can build up and do stuff with a little storage unit right there, little storage shed, your cows. Like I said, you got some area tucked away back there. Yeah, all good to go. So now we'll go ahead and continue to head out. Now, I have noticed a few issues that are in and around the map, so I'll point them out as I see them and as they, become more evident. A couple of our starting fields right over here. You have this kind of open area right here. It looks like it's supposed to be a grass area. Here's one of the issues right here. As you can see, kind of the flickering in the roadway and the dark lines that separate the white lines. And that's spread out over a couple of intersections. I think it's mainly and specifically the intersections that have that issue. The other issue that I found on this map, and I don't know if it is intentional or if it's just kind of an oversight, we'll see is evident at the first production point. And it's like that for all production points I've found. So we'll stop right here. So this, and I'm going to completely ruin the name, is the Herrenmühle. Herrenmühle. This is the grain mill. If we go ahead and click on this, $0. That's right. You can buy the grain mill for nothing. And it's like that for all of the productions, not just this one. Now, I believe the input is right here. I don't see the icon that's active. I have no idea what this is about, this output right here, because all you can get is flour, and it looks like the flour is produced right here. So I don't know the story about this. Maybe you can take what item that you put in and take it out here, if you so choose. So that's kind of a I won't say an issue, but a thing of note. And again, those dark lines here at the intersections, the flickering there. Like I said, I'm pretty sure it's just how those intersections have been developed that's the kind of issue. And then once they had the issue with the first one, it was kind of a copy and paste kind of thing. That's my guess, at least. So we're coming up to almost to the northeast corner of the map. In between fields 6 and 7. And then going to be passing just right past field 8. And kind of tucked away into the forest back here. And just continue to follow this around. Alright, and then right here is the sawmill. Let's go ahead and stop right here. Again, productions, nothing. So go ahead and buy that. And this is intended for the Platinum Edition DLC, as you can see here. Your wood chip output is right here. Your input is right here with the wood cell trigger right there. And the output for products, I believe, is all right here, as best as I can tell. So now, hop back in. Now we just continue to follow this back out until we hit back to the main road. So as I'm going through this map, there are a lot of things that I like about this map. There are at times a bit too much color. As you can see, as we're kind of passing through here, you're seeing a lot of pinks and reds and blues and just lots and lots of colors kind of dug in there. But at the same time, they kind of mix well in with the grass. So the grass is, to me, seems a bit taller than the flowers, and it does a fairly decent job at masking that kind of color that's there. You really have to be paying attention to it. So on one hand, there is that kind of cartoonish quote-unquote feel, but not so much that it's overwhelming and takes away from the game itself or from the map itself. Now, one thing that I'm starting to see pop up, as you can probably see here, is the trees. There appears to be some kind of issue uh, with the way the trees are rendering. Now, I don't recall noticing this on other maps, so that's why I'm slowing down. That's why I'm kind of pointing it out here. Is if you watch, you'll see the thin silhouette of the tree in the background, and then as we get closer to it, it then pops and renders. So I'm not 100% sure what the story is with that. You can kind of see it way in the distance in the background where the forest area is. Now it makes sense that there would be kind of that low resolution thing, but it seems almost too low resolution. I'm not 100% certain though. This sell point right here that I'm passing over is the farmer's trade. This is a sell point. Buy point, that is lime buy point right there, lime silo. To my right that I'm passing by is the fertilizer buy point. And then tucked away in the back here with a little bit of a thin squeeze right here is the seed buy point. So now we're gonna head back out. Now you'll see that the whole tree thing is going to be more and more evident as we continue on. Like you can see, just all the trees are just popping into view, like they're just like boom rendered, and then like out of nowhere almost. You'll see that kind of thin trees that I was talking about a little bit more pronounced there in the distance, but you'll see them as we make our way back from the towards the final point of interest, and I'll point that out, where it's really like pronounced. Like these are just kind of appearing as we get closer, but later you'll see where it's like a very thin. Whoa, I am just talking and missing everything. Back there, a gas station, right back there. I'm just sitting here flapping my gums and not doing the tour like I'm supposed to be doing. Over here, you have the spinnery. Again, $0. Nothing special about the spinnery. It's just a normal spinnery. Inputs there, outputs there. And then across the street is the dairy. You have the inputs here, outputs back there. And the trigger right here, $0. Butter, cheese, and chocolate. Now continuing down the road, at this kind of entrance right here, the driveway, we have the biomass heating plant. The wood cell trigger right there in the corner. Again, that kind of darkening lines and the flickering at this intersection. Like I said, I've only ever observed it at the intersections, so I think it's just something to do with those in particular. This is the farmer's market sell point, tucked away back there, and that's something I just noticed. Oh, okay. So the entrance to it is way back through here. Okay, so sorry, I drove past it and took notes, but didn't realize where the entrance to it was. So there's the trail right there for it. Now we're going to stop right here. Over here is the bakery. No dollars. And again, nothing special. It's just bread and cakes like we're used to. And inputs and outputs right there. Now we're going to head in this direction. We do have a little bit of a drive before we get to our next point of interest. So, some things I like. Love the terrain, love the undulations. The map itself is very, I think, well laid out. It's appears to be very worker friendly, the fields at least. I would imagine the road network is rather worker friendly as well. I missed the turn. it is. So it's definitely has a nice look, but there's just all these little glitches. Like you see the texturing and terrain, not texturing and terrain, the texturing and flickering on the walls there. Over here we've got, let's see, it was over here. This is the Pet Trade Bale Sales sell point, and over here is the Animal Dealer. Now, you can purchase animals from this location or the pens and pastures you already have installed on the map. If you do purchase them from this location or the pens and pastures, you will be charged an additional fee. That fee is a delivery fee, and it's simulating the animal dealer taking the animals from this location and bringing them to your location wherever the pen is set up. And it can be a little expensive. Can be up to $100 per cow that you do. So just kind of an adult cow, by the way. So it's one of those that you are going to be charged a lot of money. $500 if you're buying all adult cows, $500 a pop. That's a lot of money at the end of the day to spend. Now you can save that money by bringing an animal trailer to this location, whether it's owned or leased. Bring it to this location, load into the animal trailer, and take it to the pen and pastures yourself. You'll save that delivery fee. Now we'll go ahead and leave here and head back to that kind of four-way intersection back by the bakery. And soon we'll start seeing the real thin trees that I was talking about before, where they're real thin, they're just not rendered fully, and then all of a sudden, pow, they just appear from there. So it just seems like there's something wrong, perhaps with the coding, with the trees. Maybe there's too many trees because there's a large forest in the north and northwest. There you go. Now you can see it there. All those thin trees coming at it from the side there, and just boop, pops up. And you see just how far it goes. So I don't know if that's necessarily an issue that can be fixed or if it's a limitation of the console. I don't know. I have no idea what the story is there. So it's a little bit jarring at times to see how those are there and just pop up at random. Yeah, just... So our next and last point of interest is coming up here. There we go. Turn here. And here you have the main shop area. Shop trigger right here. And the repair trigger, it's right over here. And that is it. That is Gumpen Megafield and Forest map. Now it is time to render my opinion. What do I think of this map? Well, I've kind of listed out some pros and cons about the map already. There's a lot of issues that I can tell with this map so far, which is really kind of saddening to me because there's a lot of potential with this map. I really like it. I like the layout. I like just the way that everything's set up. It just seems like it just kind of works. The problem is that now that we have all these issues that are just very evident, you know, the road network right there, the trees that are just popping up out of nowhere, the thin trees that then spawn into full-size rendered trees. It's just one of those that there's too many issues to be able to ignore. And my fear is that I would start playing on this map, really getting involved in it, and then all of a sudden an update came out to fix all these issues, and you'd have to start a new save file. That would be my concern. So it's just one of those that this is a map that I wouldn't even begin to try in fear that it would eventually get updated, and then you have to kind of work out all the issues from there. So, and this is another thing too. I really like this starting farm. Like the layout and how it's kind of multi-leveled is really sharp in my opinion. And you have room to grow. You have this little grass field right here that's all ready for you to take advantage of for your cows, be able to make some silage. You've got a little expandable area, this kind of placeable area right down here, so you can put whatever you want down there. Like, there's definite potential. Now, what I really dislike about this map, as I mentioned before, the glitches. That stinks. But one thing that I really cannot stand with any map, not just this one, but any map that does this, drives me nuts, is the sheer volume at which you cannot buy. This entire area, look at all this. This is a lot of area that you can do absolutely nothing with. Nothing. And that is a real shame that you can't do anything with this. You know, if this is an issue because of the sheer number of trees that are up here in the northwest, then I mean, there's a ton of trees around the farm that you could clear out and make some space for trees to render or anything like that. But again, I'm speculating. I don't know what the issue is. But the reason I'm coming up here is just so you can see the sheer volume of trees once we get up to them. And even this, like, I don't recall seeing like other maps like this kind of juddery. Not juddery, not that, but you can see just how even at the high level the rendering seems off. I don't know. Is that just me? Maybe I'm just, I don't know. I have no idea. But I mean, just seems like even things that are within the normal view are just taking forever to render. And again, this is a really thick forest. There's lots of trees, lots of different trees too. You've got the kind of poplar trees here. You got the normal pines, big, small, willows that are tucked in various places. So I mean, there's a real dense forest up here. So maybe that's part of the issue, is just how dense this forest is. Maybe it just needs to be cleared out a little bit. Again, speculating, I don't know for sure. But it's just one of those that, you know, at the end of the day, I would love to say that this map would be an absolute home run of a map, and would normally, if there wasn't these issues, I'd probably give this a 3.5, 4 kind of thing, like an above average grade. But because of all the issues that I laid forward and the kind of what feels to be incompleteness of this map, I feel like I can only fairly give this map a 2. It's just, I don't know. And that's another thing too. Look at the blimp. I really like that as a feature. Like the blimp kind of flying around. There's so many things I really want to like about this map. I really want to say, yes, this is a good map. You should give it a try. You know, again, you've got this thing here. I don't know what this is. If this is just parking, if this is supposed to be like a wash area for, I mean, it almost looks like a wash area for like a pressure washer kind of thing, for so you can take your equipment and wash it. But there's not a pressure washer around there, so I mean, that's just, again, me guessing. So at the end of the day, 2 in its current state. If it were to get fixed up and the issues I laid forward addressed, then a 4. I do rather like this and think that it has a lot of potential. But that's how I feel about it. I hope you enjoyed this map tour. If you did, please show me by liking, sharing, subscribing, following, commenting, doing all the things the algorithms enjoy you doing that shows you're engaged with this channel and enjoying the content. And that being said, I hope you have a fantastic day. Take care.